saying welcome back?
No, I'm
No,
gonna
he
do it.
He got that Steve Spurrier hat on.
Excuse me.
Take a little drink.
Alright, let me go in there. Hey, bro, you got some?
Yeah,
Ramen orange
not
again,
so
bro?
much.
Yeah, I ain't trying.
Whack.
Alright, fuck with that.
Way back. All right, welcome back to the Out of Bounds Sports Show. You're here with Mo and Ant, guest host, moderator today, DJ Manson. So we're gonna go into the last part of the show where we're gonna talk about basically Tom Brady's ruling. So you know how y'all guys wanna get at this?
All right.
Go ahead.
This foolishness.
I'm gonna kick it off by saying I'm pretty shocked. I mean, knowing Tom Brady's history, the Patriots' history in general. I mean, these guys just never go down without a fight. So, him actually conceding and accepting this suspension is very surprising to me. Now, with that affect this team during the season, I mean, obviously, it's Tom Brady. You just can't replace a guy like that. But it's going to be interesting to see, how this young kid Garoppolo comes out there and, basically tries to work and maneuver this offense. Like I said, man, this was very surprising and it's big news in my opinion.
Well, I mean, my opinion, I really like Garoppolo. Is that so? Garoppolo?
Garoppolo.
Yeah, Garoppolo. I actually like the young. I saw him play against a little bit at the end of the Kansas City game. I believe it was last year or the year before. He showed some promise. I think they're going to change up their attack a little bit. They're going to depend on them being spaced, their players, and they don't really have a long, deep throw offense. It's really a deep, I think a West Coast offense, I believe so.
Pretty much.
So I think they should be okay. If they can just go 2-2 while he's gone, they have a really good chance of they're still going to be the Patriots. I mean, when Matt Castle was there, they won 10 games. So don't underestimate it. And Matt Castle never played while he was at USC. So this is a second round pick. They already trying to prepare the organization for whenever Tom hangs it up. But I'm not surprised with Tom. I mean, I think he's just overwhelmed. He's overwhelmed by everything. It just keep going on. You're not really knowing what the process is. And let's be honest, if you saw the second half of the actual Deflategate or game, the coach didn't have a shot. They should have. The balls didn't have anything to do with that tail whooping they got. So, and then they beat the Seahawks with the balls being right at. So I think Roger Goodell can just be a little bit of a tyrant sometimes. If you just pay attention to what his track record, you look at New Orleans, and it came out that they actually said that it was wrongfully done how they suspended the gentleman. And even the Ray Rice situation, he actually had a conversation with Ray Rice before the tape leaked, and then the tape leaked, and now the man couldn't get a job. So Roger Goodell, he has been suspect at best at being an actual a commissioner. And some of the stuff that we let pass as fans, we just so in love with the game. So Tom Brady, he gonna be fine. I mean, I'm pretty sure Giselle is right now rubbing his back in their fortress of a house. Yeah. We don't feel too bad for you, Tommy. You get 4 days off and you'll be fine.
Little extra vacation.
Yes.
Yeah, so what's going on with this Kirk Cousins situation?
All right, now with that, the news broke out. Yesterday was pretty much the deadline, for these free agents to basically sign lucrative deals. I mean, we saw the Von Miller deal. I mean, he's what did you say he was getting NBA type money?
Yes, LeBron James money right now. I need to be his agent.
Right,
$70 million guaranteed.
It's ridiculous, man. The money that they're throwing out there. But as far as Kirk Cousins, what I was hearing was that they offered him $24 million guaranteed. If I'm Kirk Cousins, I'm ripping that up. I'm throwing that in the trash, and I'm saying, you know what? I am going to prove myself again this year, and you guys are really now going to have to pay me. And in my opinion, I think that was the best move for Kirk Cousins. I actually believe that was the best move also for the organization. You don't want to heavily pay a guy who really hasn't proved himself to the point to where you're 100% comfortable. This is our franchise guy. So it only makes sense that he takes the franchise tender, which is what 20 mil or something
18
like that.
20 million.
18, 20 million. So he's still going to be getting paid. I mean, let's not make no mistake about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as that big contract, Kirk Cousins needs to play out this upcoming year. Needs to prove that last year wasn't a fluke. I believe in him. I think that he is the right guy, and I think he's going to do just that.
Yeah, and I will definitely say I was one of the critics of Kirk Cousins in the past. Ant knows I have constantly called him poor man's Rex Grossman without throwing touchdowns. Then after the Tampa Bay game, he just clearly turned the corner. I'm excited for him. I'm excited for the organization, the direction, being from this area, seeing where they're going, and letting Robert Griffin go. That was a big deal. And then I'm bringing in Josh Norman, so you got a lot of pieces that they're actually bringing in. And but Kirk Cousins, he's gonna be fine. We got so many weapons, and he has the canny ability just getting the ball to people in space. And that right there, I mean, seeing it and being able to read the defense, it's more than enough talent. We have one of the best offensive lines, so the Redskins will be fine. They will be fine if he just does his job. And we have a very tough schedule, so we definitely want to see what he's about. I'm concerned about some of these games on the road. The Redskins struggle with winning on the road. If he could be the type of quarterback that he was the second half of the season, I mean, behind Russell Wilson, he had the best 8-game span that we've seen from
led the league in
completion percentage, and he had second in touchdowns in that particular time. So he has shown a lot, but we will see. You guys, a lot of things got to do with health, and I think he'll be fine. I'm glad they didn't that he did take that contract. $20 million is a low ball for guaranteed money for him. He should. But I don't want us to jump out the window, Redskins, with if he has a great season. We better not give him Andrew Luck money.
That's bound to happen.
No $86 million guaranteed like Andrew Luck.
Is a necessity
that is
in
absurd.
this league.
But do you see with other stars that get this big money, just speaking on the NFL for right now, do they tend to lax a little more? Do you see their performance fall off, or do you feel that it kind of still stays consistent, or does it get better?
Well, it depends. It just depends on the player.
I mean, look at Kirkpatrick. I mean, he completely.
Well, it just normally it depends on it depends on the player.
There's no real way to know.
You can't. Not with quarterbacks though. Normally quarterbacks fine.
From what I've kind of noticed, I don't know if this is fact, but just my opinion, it does always seem though that when the player does get that money, they tend not to live up to that the following years. I mean, we saw it last year. I mean, he got hurt, but you take like a Dez Bryant and a Demaryius Thomas. I mean, these guys got paid last year. Obviously, we know Dez Bryant got hurt, so you really can't say that. Then you look at Demaryius.
Well, it's their quarterbacks too.
Yeah. Peyton Manning really didn't play well.
And both of their quarterbacks was. I mean, but if you look at Andy Dalton, since we saw about Kirk Cousins, you just go to Andy Dalton. I mean, I didn't think he deserved half of the money that he got, and I could have been wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong. Andy Dalton actually played incredible, and I was surprised.
You look at a guy like Kaepernick, got paid all that money, and now I don't even think
they shouldn't have gave him the money anyway. If you break down the film, if you can't throw people open, I'm not giving you the money. Cam got the money, and he played better. Yeah. So you got to take. You don't want them collective. Right? It's you got to be careful with that because you don't want them guys to hit the open market. The Broncos played. I mean, they paid heavily without letting that young man get to the open market. Osweiler. I mean, and the Texans lost their mind. They gave him so much money. I couldn't even believe my eyes what was going on for 4 games.
That's the price now that teams are willing to pay for that quarterback.
But that's what I'm saying. The Redskins, you cannot let them hit the market, man. If you had by week 8, we should know. We should know something. Week 8, 9, you let them hit the market. I mean, the Jets would probably slaughter a lamb to get this man on their team.
Now, speaking of the Redskins, since that's our home team, shout out to Baltimore Ravens too. But we're shooting in Washington, D.C., for those at home tuning in again. So for the Redskins, how long do you think it will be until they see the playoffs again? What else is missing from their overall team that you think is preventing them from getting to
The next
you
level.
know that next
Well,
level?
it's basically experience. I mean, listen, the organization has done a fantastic job of drafting lately.
Not overspending.
Yeah, not overspending
players.
for players and keeping the good players here. Don't go out like they're gonna have to pay for Baker. They're on the right track. I think this year, 8-8, 10-6 will be a great season because we overachieved last year. The schedule wasn't that tough. If they stay on that mark, I think it's a successful season. But it all depends on Kirk Cousins. If Kirk Cousins plays anywhere like he played at the second half of the season, we can easily win 10, 11 games, possibly. But say if he retracts and he goes back to what he was, we're a 5, 6, 7 game win team. And it just depends on him. But the defense, we're going to learn a lot about. I like the move with Sue Cravens. I think he's a great young player. The cornerbacks is with Fuller. They just drafted Fuller from Virginia Tech. Then the defensive tackle from Temple. So we got depth defensively in the draft, and we can keep bringing in key pieces and not overpaying for them. I think it's really smart. They're gonna be fine, but I still think they're 2 years away, including this season, from being at least trying to be a contender.
But see, that's the beauty about the NFL is you never know. I mean, we could be saying 2-3 years, and this year might be their year. We've seen that before, you know. But I definitely do agree with him as far as Kirk Cousins being that driving force. In my opinion, he is the one guy that has to stay consistent. You know, that's what has been plaguing this team for years. This is their inability to stay consistent and play back-to-back good, solid games. If Kirk Cousins can maintain that type of play, I think this team will be fine. You know, like you said, there's a lot of weapons on offense, and even on defense as well. You know, they've made a lot of good changes. I'm interested to see how Junior Gillette looks when he comes back. You know, that's an added piece to our pass rush right there. So I feel like they're going to be okay, man. I would say they're about 3 years away also as well. But you
From a
just,
playoff run?
Actually, no, they could make a playoff run this year, but as far as
Bowl.
like winning the Super Bowl,
Super Bowl, really?
yeah, you know,
Yeah.
they're not on that elite level
Elite,
yet
yeah.
collectively. But again, like he said, experience, consistency.
And we
That's
don't
very
want to forget
important.
about the development of Matt Jones. We need a running back, a steady
That's
running
very
back.
true.
We need the interior run game and the interior defense. So that's the biggest question mark with this organization right now. So if he turns out to be a David Johnson type of guy, we should be in a good place. But if he's Melvin Gordon, we starting to look towards the draft again. So it just depends, you know, if he stay on a steady pace. And then we got the young guy Keith Marshall out of Georgia. From what I've seen on his footage and his speed, he should be a good change of pace. We still got Thompson. So and then keeping the depth level on the interior offensive line is very key with this team.
Yes.
So we have, you know, it'll play out, but I'm pretty confident with the group they have and what they've done. They've been pretty smart with McLuhan. We're glad you're here,
Now,
McLuhan.
let me ask you this: in your opinion, would they repeat as a NFC East champion?
I think they repeat, but I think the Giants this year is going to make a lot of noise. I don't like Dallas. I don't think they can. I think that Tony Romo gets hurt while stretching. So then their defense is. I mean, we got 2 guys suspended. You know, the Jalen Smith was a 2nd round pick. He's not playing this year. And then they took Ezekiel Elliott. He's not checking nobody on defense. So I don't like anybody on their defense right now. And I just think they're subpar. I mean, we were not even going to talk about the Eagles. Chip Kelly, I don't know how he got another job. So, I mean, I think the Giants and the Redskins, but I do think the Giants, I think they're poised for a Super Bowl run.
Okay. Well, here you have it. Out of Bounds Sports Show. Thank you for tuning in with Mo, Ant, your guest moderator and host, DJ Manson. Thank y'all for having me on your show.
Yeah,
I really appreciate it.
Love the hat.
Make sure you tune in www.kok.media if you want to see more. Be on the lookout for Ant and Mo's Out of Bounds Sports Show blog for other fantasy picks and sports betting picks. Again, Thank you again for tuning in, and we'll see you again next week.
Peace.
Super Bowl one time.
The Giants? Yeah, I do.
Lost your man.
I do.
You lost your mind.
Well, it's
Now the
courageous.
footage will tell. No, I'm sorry to cut y'all off.
Yeah, I think it went pretty well.
Nah.